Starburns Audio.
Thank you for listening to the Starburns Audio Podcast Network. We have so many great comedy shows to add to your playlist. Just last week on Starburns Audio, on the Season 2 premiere of Humans Who Make Games, Adam Conover talks to comedian Ron Funches and Jean Goudon, creative director of the Assassin's Creed series. On Boogie Monster, Kyle Kinane and Dave Stone share a perfect recipe for the quarantined cook. This week on Profiles and Eccentricity, they cover the history of the Coruscant Unity cult, folks for whom a flat earth is ridiculous because they believe it's really a concave shell. Search Starburns Audio on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any podcast platform for our full list of shows, featuring hosts like Joe Coy, Amanda Seals, Jessica Chobot, and Jackie Johnson. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Starburns Audio. Enjoy the show. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep laughing.
It's a good show.
Dan and Ren and Jay will share tales of folks so unaware they lack in grace and sometimes choose the life they choose will make the news. Breaking down each epic fail in Florida, there's half-price bail. I'm happy to say they couldn't make this up. So listen to our podcast jam with co-hosts Arm and Dan. Bender, don't be a jerk, cause when the music hits, the funny hits, and we are gonna take you down. Stick around. Make a sound, hunker down, it's Dumb People Town.
Hey, Townies, welcome to another episode of Dumb People Town. Population you. Population Pollak. Kevin Pollak.
I like it. I'm letting Jeremy know that we're starting and she should leave me alone.
That's right. So leave him alone. He's in here. The podcast.
She sends her love, though.
Oh, thank you. She's amazing and wonderful.
I thought I was going to get to see her today.
Yeah, she was bummed out because she thought it was much earlier.
Well, you are here. We are thrilled to have you here. You are someone we've wanted to have on the show for a long time, but I'm actually glad that we waited because now we can promote this wonderful, amazing, beautiful thing that
Golden Globe Award winning.
That you are on and amazing it.
And I warned you both.
You warned us both.
The three of you, and two of you have seen it.
You've said we've all seen it.
Really?
The Marvelous.
The
Marvelous. You are the Marvelous Mr. Maisel.
Well, as it turns out, I literally am Mr. Maisel.
You are. So, all right.
Or father-in-law, who will never be an A story.
Here's the deal.
That is not true.
Definitely
We're
not
only in
true.
season 1, bro.
We're in season 1. This thing's going to go.
And your character is fantastic.
Oh, no, we're doing season 2. I mean,
no, but we're saying your character will step to the forefront of a story.
Yeah,
I guarantee.
I don't know if you guys know. He was bumped up to series regular for season 2.
I was reoccurring season 1, and yes, it's true.
Holy smokes, you are. This show is unbelievable.
Happy.
This show is fantastic to begin.
What show are you even talking about?
The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Oh, okay.
Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, no, unbelievable. And I want to get into it and talk all about it, but we can't do that right now.
What do we got to do?
Because we've got dumb stories.
We've got dumb stories
The
first.
world is getting dumber, Kevin Pollak. I know you've been around, and you've been out traveling the world as a comedian the way we do, and you see this country in ways that most people don't.
Can I tell you why I love this show?
Why? Please.
Must I?
Yeah. I'd love to.
So, for some reason, about 4 years ago, I thought it would be fun to do a podcast called Talkin' Walkin', where it's kind of like my dinner with Andre, only Andre speaks only as Christopher Walken. Inexplicably, and we don't reference him or me during the conversation.
No, talking.
And I would have someone over to the house, and we just two people talking minutia of life. And I started looking up shit online for us to talk about each week. And I started sort of down the rabbit hole of these dumb,
just
people,
stupid people doing dumb
stories.
things. That's right.
And
That's
fell
right.
in love with the idea of that. I only did about 20 episodes and loved it.
What was Walken's attitude towards all of these stories? He probably loved it.
It's pure fascination, if I may. Most people walk through life with this sort of devil-may-care view of most things, but sometimes people lean in.
He's really the only...
He's lyrical.
He's the only guy who can throw away a syllable. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
there's the word, and he punches
Not
the
only
first
that,
two parts of it, and then throws the last syllable away.
Your characterization of him, which is also why it's so great, is because it's true in watching him. He will be telling you something of the harshest conviction, but his body language is a very
Loosey,
but like as though he was
care.
like, you could paint the house, you could not paint the house, but that's his like body language. Like,
I know.
Well, I was a chorus boy coming up. So I'm a dancer at heart.
Great dancer.
By the way, great dancer, and the
Fat Boy Slim?
The older the Fat Boy Slim, but the
Unreal.
older he gets, the more out of breath he is.
Yes.
And to me, I actually
Yes.
think that makes him so much more compelling.
Absolutely.
Because you feel like, wait,
He might die during
every
the
breath might be
sentence.
his last. So I'm on the edge of my seat.
What? Were we losing a syllable here? All right, so
I watched Deer Hunter for Christ's sake the other night, and I was
with
like,
the kids.
Yeah, we just sat around with the kids.
Guys.
Now,
Milo Mike.
I don't want to put a gun to your head, but I think you're going to love this movie.
It's about friendship.
He was unbelievable in that movie.
Of course.
Like
What's his line? What's his monologue? Don't leave me over there. What's
Yeah,
he's like?
don't
Don't
they're
leave me
sitting
over
back
there.
to back on the the back to back on the basketball
Just
hoop.
Mike
yeah,
or whatever. He's
Yeah,
like,
don't leave me. Don't leave me.
Mike,
over there.
don't leave me over there.
Like he knew something was going to happen.
Yeah,
Oh my God,
Because he
brilliant!
had read the script.
He read the script.
Oh, well, he knew, right. He
He's
knew.
an actor who knew what
I'm
was
3
coming.
pages ahead of you. Don't leave me over there.
Are you guys want to do a story?
So,
Let's
yeah,
do it.
I love the
Let's
show, and I
jump
can't
in.
wait to participate.
I love it. So let's
For the
jump in.
listeners following at home, all you loyal townies, yes, my voice is still this deep due to a wonderful cold. Sent in by Gary King at Gaz Kinging at GAZKING.
Thanks, buddy.
ING. Okay, here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
I think that's that's to Yaz Queening. That's Gaz King.
Gaz Kinging. Yeah.
I'm going to read you this headline. Shane Brennan convicted on indecency charges after, quote, freebie sex act on train caught on camera.
Most sex is freebie.
As it turns out, yeah, it should be.
It
freebie.
should be.
Like, so in his mind,
I mean,
though, even though he
emotionally-
didn't do this sexual act, he had sex. He tells
Said
people
this is
he
a
ran
freebie.
a train.
That's
And
it.
he didn't do it.
Right.
He didn't actually run a train, but
You
he's
should
telling
say he
people
used
that.
a train.
Used
Used
a
a train.
Was he on a train?
Yes, a Randy Wallalong train traveler.
So now this was definitely took place in
Australia.
In Australia.
Yep.
'Cause
Wallalong.
Wallalong is not a place that exists anywhere but
Nope.
Australia.
Right, Australia.
Just outside of Cleveland. Nope.
Caught again, they put it in quotes again, caught engaging in a, quote, free sex act with a fellow passenger one day last December, as though they're like telling a fairy tale.
One day last December in Wallalong.
It's unfair to remember.
Also, interesting use of the word fellow.
Yeah. Yes. Now
He showed his Longfellow in Wallalong. His Wallalong.
now has a lasting legacy of their time together, a criminal conviction. Shane Lawrence Brennan, SLB if you're nasty, was riding the 9:56 a.m. service from Port Kembla.
Mistake number one.
That's AM.
That's key. I'm
That
glad
is
he
the
caught it.
Morning sex.
That's the end of the commute. Morning sex sometimes
I
is the best.
ride the 956.
Yeah, I was gonna see. You know,
by
you
the
all
way-
tried together, and that's what's important.
By
None
the
of us
way,
were on
Kevin
it.
Pollak, correct in that Sheena Easton is from Australia.
Yes, and she
Thank
did
you.
run, and she used to run the 9. She ran
56.
a 9:56 train.
Port
He could have been
Kembla.
her baby that took the morning train.
On December 14th, when he noticed, this is Shane Lawrence Brennan, noticed a female passenger masturbating on one of the seats, and he approached her.
Right. So we were out this past weekend at a bar eating on St. Patrick's Day, which I understand was our mistake. Like we should have never
This was
been
lunch.
on St. Patrick's Day. We should have never been at a bar on St. Patrick's Day.
No.
This is in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
They were.
What are the Jews now?
What do we know?
We don't know
We don't
anything.
know.
I
we
did
don't
it. Guess
know
how
enough.
long I was at a bar on St. Patrick's Day?
How long?
6 hours.
Okay,
Oh,
so
Jesus Christ.
and this was another issue. There was a chair at the end of the table we were sitting at, but no one was in it.
That's fair game on
That
St.
is
Patrick's
so-
Day.
That was a
Wide
big
open.
mistake.
Yeah.
Big mistake.
I mean, were we like women masturbating
No.
on an Australian
You got
morning train?
yourself a 2-table state.
So
We
that
gotta
was
guess.
just an invitation for some dumb
Please
older
join.
to sit down.
Sit down. Hey, I
heard you
understand you guys are on the Food Channel.
Okay, first of all,
There is no
there is
Food
no
Channel.
such thing as a food channel.
Why didn't you just say yes?
Yeah, that's
would've
how
said-
you get going.
Yeah.
you get it going? We want to stop
You
it.
bet your ass we
There,
are.
Kevin, I
Yeah,
wanna
we do a
stop
show
it.
called The Silent Treatment when we go to bars. Shut
So-
the fuck
This
up.
guy was just like, you just didn't want to, you did not want to get involved. So this guy sees a woman masturbating and says, this is for me.
Here's where I step in.
Why, hello there.
Yes. Right.
Hello down there.
You another Australian reference. You open the door.
I come from the land down under.
She's coming in the land down under.
After a brief interaction, the woman began performing oral sex on Brennan.
Very brief interactions. How are you? Nice to see you.
I see you're already.
Good day.
You're where
Good
I
day.
would like to be.
Good day, mate.
I see you're pleasuring yourself. Let me interrupt that by having you stop pleasuring yourself and only
Hey,
Hey,
pleasure
what about
me.
me?
What if she was like, let's catch you up?
Sure.
Let's get you up to speed.
Let's do me next.
He later told police he didn't have to, quote, pay for it.
Nope.
Hey, first off, I want to let you guys know,
Let's just be
I
honest.
did not have to pay for it.
That is his way of saying it was kind of consensual.
The entire incident was caught on the train's closed-circuit cameras. So imagine this
and
guy.
watched by everyone.
Turned
at the
out not so
Australian-
close.
Yeah.
Not so close.
It's 9:56. Even if he's getting off at the next stop, the average commute's
No,
what, a
he's
half
getting
hour?
off on that
Oh, there
stop.
we go.
Oh, he's getting off between stuff.
He gets on this train somewhere around 9:15.
Sure.
And before 10 a.m., he's getting a blowjob on a rush hour train
Right.
on December 14th.
Unbelievable.
It's the holiday season.
It's the most.
Whoop-de-doo.
I know. We've talked about it ad nauseam. The weirdest hickory dock. I can't keep up thinking words, so that's what I got. Like,
Whoop-de-doo.
I know.
Yeah, I heard that, Dan. Remember we heard that and like texted you right away. We're
Yes.
like, Dan, it's real.
I
It's
know.
on. We thought you were fucking with us. It's real.
So he's who knows how long he watched the woman masturbate before being like, is this the pornos that I saw when I was
Can I ask
13
a
years
question?
old? You can ask anything. It's so
anyone
we do it all the
listening
time.
is probably wondering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's everyone else on the train doing?
I know.
I know.
You have to assume it's a busy
According
train.
to, according to
it's a
Shane
morning
Brennan,
train.
It's a
they're
morning
missing
train.
out is
Yeah,
what they're doing.
right.
They didn't see opportunity.
They didn't step up.
Yeah.
They're all on their phones. I mean, I'm sure
No one's taking a number.
This is
Waiting for
the porno version of Snakes on. This is Snakes on a Train.
Okay.
And this is his way.
Yeah.
Jay.
At Sklar Brothers.
That's Sklar Brothers.
The entire incident was caught
Send
on the
all
train's
complaints.
closed circuit cameras, so that's going to live forever.
Forever.
Like those
It's
things
running at
always
every
end up-
like MTA Christmas
Yep.
party
Yep.
from now until eternity.
Brennan returned to his seat as the train pulled into the Wallawong Railway
Well, he was done.
station.
He was
yeah,
finished.
He was
yeah,
done.
yeah.
I'm done with you.
Yeah.
Surprised he didn't
Nice
just go to
meeting you.
sleep right there.
City rail staff waiting on the station platform later told police they could see Brennan holding his exposed genitals from where they stood.
Huh.
From
Didn't have time to pull up?
Yeah,
which
I
means
guess
they saw it live. CCTV,
yeah, they saw it
and then
coming
they
in.
were waiting for him.
He was literally
at the
coming
stop.
into the station.
God damn it!
All right, come on, man.
Staff subsequently entered Brennan's
Staff.
carriage.
Again, staff entering Brennan's carriage to me
Is its own.
his undercarriage.
That's an infection.
It's like a train going into a tunnel.
To discover a large and disgusting, that's in quotes,
Large.
liquid mess on the floor. It's not
him.
what you think it is.
Ye old wet spot. It's not. You're saying it's not.
You're saying
It gets better and
saying
worse.
he-
They originally
Anal
thought
bleeding?
it was urine. However,
it's just a pool of like crusted Vegemite.
Brennan told them it was cola from a bottle he was carrying. Quote, I wasn't having a piss. I spilled my Coke. Go and have a look. It's just Coke, he said to police, who arrived on the scene a short time later.
By the way, a lot of people have said it's just Coke to police, and that's not a good
That's
thing.
not a great thing. But this is totally a guy who got caught doing something else, but
Right.
he was right in this tiny moment, and he's going to hold that one up.
Yes.
You guys thought it was something else, but I'm telling you,
Definitely
it was Coke.
Try
It's Coke.
it. Taste it. See?
Yeah, Willie, how bad are these detectives that their concern is what is that liquid?
What's the liquid?
Yeah.
What's the liquid?
We
Not
can
the-
see your genitals in your hand.
We get it. We've got
I'm
the
gonna need to know
footage.
what this
We need to
liquid
know
is.
what this is.
You guys are trying to railroad me.
Two 11-year-olds watch the whole sex
Sure.
act.
You
But
could've
let's
just
focus
asked
on the
them.
Coke.
Is this
Yeah.
piss? No, it's not piss, man. I spilled my Coca-Cola. I spilled my Coke. However, when further questioned, Brennan admitted he had splashed the Coca-Cola all over his genitals in a bid to, quote, clean myself up
How else you gonna
after
do it?
the sexual
I'm sorry, how
activity.
else are you supposed to do that?
There's no other way. There's
So
no other
didn't-
way.
I did not see this coming when I read the
didn't
story.
Mom say that
Our mom tells us.
she claimed this is like a
I'm already
this
off
is a
board.
Sklar urban myth.
urban myth. Okay,
It's not sexual. It's
Here-
not
here for
sexual.
Not
Annette.
sexual, okay.
It's not
Here
sexual,
for
but
Annette.
when you hear what happens, you will see what a bad decision it was for this guy to clean his genitals with Coke.
What do you clean with it?
She was at the mechanic,
I'm
and
sorry.
the mechanic.
I need to hear a life Sklar family story to understand why it would be a bad idea to clean your genitals with Coke.
Yeah.
All right, I'm on board.
After getting a random blowjob at 9:56 in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Your mom.
she was at the mechanic, and the mechanic said, "You got a ton of gunk on your carburetor."
Oh, thank God you said that.
I know. I was curious too.
A ton of gunk on your junk. She had a ton of gunk on your carburetor, and we're going to clean it off. And she said, and she had a Coke in her hand, and he said, "I'll buy you a new Coke, but give me that Coke." And he went over and poured the Coke all on her carburetor.
Sure.
And it ate through all of the stuff, and in like a short period of time, it was clean. But it ate through.
Yeah.
Like,
So maybe Shane Lawrence Brennan knows what he's up to.
maybe, but I wouldn't want it to eat through
Your
my own
junk?
junk. Yeah, I'll take it
It
on
was
my
like she
carburetor.
had poured it onto cotton candy.
Right.
Have you ever dipped cotton candy in a Coke? You just watch it disappear, the sugar
yeah,
go right
yeah.
into it.
Can I tell you my takeaway? The
Yes.
family story
Yes. Mom,
is
why was mom dealing with the mechanic?
why the mechanic, while working on your mom's car carburetor, said, like she was an assistant in surgery, "Give me your Coke."
Also, wouldn't he have
Scalpel.
whatever you really would normally use?
Yeah,
but I think he wanted to
I
prove
think he
a point.
wanted to prove a point.
He was trying
Thank
to be
you,
just
Dr.
like
Science.
Just like Shane, whatever his name
Lawrence
is.
Brennan,
was
SLB.
trying to prove a point. I clean my genitals in Coke.
Right.
Coke.
I
It was-
clean my genitals.
I was like, are we going back into Sheena Easton again? I clean my genitals with
Can I
Coke.
ask you guys? I don't want to. We don't have to get too personal here, but
Too late.
why would he need to clean himself up?
Me either.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like a
you
guy
for
who
the
would have
answer.
the wherewithal.
Or I
pull up your
wouldn't think
pants.
that you'd need to clean yourself up after a
Me
blowjob.
either. That meaning, like, I knew you were like, I don't understand why, and I'm like, me either.
I cannot. At this age, in my advanced age, I always still pee a little in my pants when I'm done. No matter how much I shake it out, no matter how much I try to
Welcome
get to
to the rest
end.
of your life.
Right. That's the rest of my life. Like, that's part of life. Pull up your pants.
Sure.
That's why you have clothing on. It'll take it in.
If I
wash
may,
it.
though, a
take
guy
it in.
who's comfortable exiting a train
Right.
holding his naked junk
Right.
doesn't seem like the type who also said, I
need
should
to
probably
clean this
rinse
up."
up before.
Yeah, I love that he was so concerned about how clean he
Look,
was.
I want it out in the wind, but I got to clean that
After
up.
sticking his penis in the mouth of a woman who
He does
had
not
no
know.
idea how clean
No
that
idea.
was.
Yeah, well, he did it in a bid, like I said, quote, to clean myself up after the sexual activity. Quote, this is a straight line for him in the next line. Quote, I got a blowjob on the train and I was rinsing my cock off, he told officers. Hey, guys, we're friends,
hey,
right?
hey.
He's like getting too personal
It's
with the cops.
9:54 on a Wednesday, guys.
What else am I gonna
What
do?
else do you do?
Brennan was allowed to leave the location on the condition he not return for at least 2
He
hours.
said that in the way of like, yeah, I didn't have enough money on my Metro card, so I just bought a new one.
But how about
Yeah.
these cops in Australia that are like, we got to figure out something to do. How about this? I leave, I don't come back for 2 hours. That's good enough for us.
That works.
On your way.
yeah,
works.
yeah.
Sounds good.
We're not going to get everybody hung up on this. It's
Great
Christmas
sen-
time.
It's a great sentence.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, technically, you're involved in a crime.
Court
But,
documents said, go ahead.
No, I just said take 2 hours.
Take 2 hours. You know
Take
what?
two.
Walk around, think about it for a minute.
Take a standing
We got
2-hour
work to
count.
do. We got to
Yeah,
figure
we
out
got
what this liquid
lots
is.
Yeah,
Gotta
fuck
get
is it?
forensics down here.
Court documents said officers re-entered the station to ascertain further details when they came across the female with whom Brennan had had the sexual liaison as she exited the station. The woman, who is well known to police, confirmed Brennan's story.
Who
Well
is
known
well
on-
known
yeah.
to police.
Right.
Need a little more there, I think.
It's like
we need a
Don.
little
It's
more.
like Don Rickles in Hello Dummy when he sees that woman. He's like, "Sheriff, know you're back in action."
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Toots,
Apparently they didn't know.
Sheriff, know you're
As
back
though
in
they
action.
didn't believe him until she confirmed that that's what happened.
Oh,
They-
listen, Shirley says you're good to go. So
Well, then after that,
She's well known to police.
he was subsequently issued with court attendance notices for offensive behavior and obscene exposure. So they were like, "You go, you're fine." And then she was like, "No, we really did that." And they're like, "All right, well, we got to ring him
Whoa,
up." then.
get him back. Get him back in here.
Well, if she said it,
It was not immediately clear in court documents whether the woman was also charged over the incident. So they were like, "You're fine.
You're fine.
This is your normal. We know you.
Yeah,
We know-
in fact, can we guess, Shirley, you were pleasing yourself first, and then he approached?
You got it."
I mean, if I know Shirley,
we all know Shirley.
yeah.
Brennan,
Shirley, by the way,
what a gal.
she,
Brennan pleaded guilt
The invisible touch.
to
Yes.
both offenses in Wallalong local court, which sounds like a fake court.
it sounds like I'm going to say it.
Don't.
I'm gonna say it. I know it's Australia.
Come on.
Sounds like a kangaroo.
You couldn't resist.
I got
Nope.
Sounds like a
Like
kangaroo.
T-ball.
court to me.
Just-
Terrible.
Sorry.
Your
Terrible.
own loathing is what made it funny.
Yeah. You're laughing to
went-
cover the tears. I understand. I understand.
There's a hurt inside
So
of me.
Brennan-
That I need to cleanse myself with Coke on that one.
Brennan pleads guilty to both offenses in Wallalong local court, with his lawyer describing the entire incident as, quote, opportunistic. Your Honor, he's just taking advantage of the cards in front of him at the
look,
table.
you take what the defense gives you.
She seemed up for it.
They had an interaction, so maybe he did be like, mind another?
Also on camera, you can see them chatting.
Yes.
Your
And the
Honor.
judge is
Oh,
like
literally.
a koala
You're
in
right.
glasses
That's
with
right.
like a little
May
robe.
I help you? Is how he entered.
Get down from the
This
tree,
is
Your
from-
Honor, so that I can.
Your Honor, put the bamboo
Your,
down.
Your
and
Honor,
let me
that
finish.
is, Your Honor, you are the cutest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, I understand you've never crashed.
If I told you there was a Disney show called The Wallalongs, would you fight me about
I
it?
know.
No.
The Wallongs, and they're all
I'm in.
koala bears, and they're all judges.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm in. I'm so in. There's a big dad judge.
Sure.
And the daughter judge doesn't want to be a judge, but look, it's in the family.
What
She
else you
wants
gonna
to
do?
be a rock and roll singer.
Or they're all three-toed sloths. Their last name is Swift, ironically, and it's
Sure.
called Swift Justice.
I love it.
You'd better trademark that.
I'm mailing it.
Copyright it.
I just
Copyright
mailed
it.
it to myself.
.com.
This is from SLB's lawyer. Quote, the facts speaks for themselves. He took the opportunity that presented itself, he said.
Did he say the facts?
Speak for
Oh,
themselves.
Speak. I thought you said speaks for
Speak,
themselves.
speak for themselves.
No.
He took the opportunity that... So it's saying... I guess he's ruled is
He's
that even
saying-
if it's against the law, if the opportunity's
They're
there,
hanging a lot on this consensual thing.
if the bank drops money, it's yours to take.
That's right.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that's it.
He also noted that the incident had only been witnessed by a small number of people despite the time of day. So he's also being like,
And everyone
hey,
who
there was a lot
watches
less
on
people
clip.
there than are normally there in the morning, and barely any of them saw it.
By the way, the order of the words in that sentence is very important. Small number of people, fine. Number of small people,
No.
that's not so good.
Not cool.
Not
very-
good.
That's
And
a
they
different-
would do nothing but bitching and moaning about a BJ on a train.
Yeah.
In convicting Brennan on both charges, Magistrate Mark Douglas said such behavior would not be tolerated. There is a line in relation to decency in our community, and you have well and truly crossed it.
I
So
can't
wait.
disagree.
This happened on Christmas Day.
No, the 14th.
14th.
The 14th.
Yeah, whatever that is, day one
So
of
it's
Hanukkah.
but is it how many days away from Christmas? So that's
11.
10 days away.
But it's
12,
11 days away. It's the 12 days of Christmas.
Yeah.
This is
This
Day
is
two.
his partridge in a pear tree. I mean, that's if you consider her mouth a pear tree, his balls a partridge
is number
in
two.
the pear tree.
Is that number two?
No, and a partridge in a pear tree is one. What's the second one?
two turtle doves.
Welcome
Yeah,
back to
two
Shoes
turtle
trying to
doves.
remember the lyric to Christmas song.
It's a great podcast.
Two turtle doves.
You should
which
have
is
seen
what
when
he
the
calls
Sklars
his
started
balls.
analyzing other Christmas
No,
songs.
two
the fact
turtle
that
doves.
Santa
Claus
watches
is
you while
coming.
you sleep.
Watching you while you sleep is
That
just-
again. That was one of those things.
sees you when you're sleeping.
Right.
Not great.
knows
Not
when
great.
you're
You're awake. That's super creepy.
Anybody who's ever been in a relationship and woken up and had their partner just staring at them, you know it's time to get out.
Unless Santa's your partner.
Yes.
Right.
And then,
Unless
Brennan.
then you go, all right, it's him.
Santa was masturbating and that's the invitation to get out.
Brennan was ordered to pay a $700 fine
To who?
and placed on a 12-month good behavior bond as punishment.
Who decides what's good behavior? Like apparently,
So was
Yeah.
he just charged for an indecent act?
Yeah,
Yes.
indecent act
Well,
in
you can't
public.
deny it was an indecent act, whether it was consensual or not.
right.
You should not be
Public
doing
and
that.
doing it on a
cannot
train.
do that in public.
No.
Yes. It's
But
I mean, he's
he
dumb.
just took
he's
the
an idiot.
opportunity. That's what his
he just
lawyer
took the
wants him to know.
opportunity that was available to him.
If I may, Your Honor.
If I may approach the tree. You're
Brennan said Brennan said he regretted his actions
What is that, eucalyptus?
and was
well, you're
worried
eating a lot, Your Honor.
that his girlfriend would find out.
That is the best line in the whole
And I
story.
read somewhere they've
I
been
did not
together
think
like
he had a
9
girlfriend.
years.
Man, do you know how to throw it to the ads?
700 to
Before
the
we do-
state and
before
700
we-
to your girlfriend. That's
Before
what
we
you
get
go.
out, I'm going to ask you guys. You are our guest, Mr. Kevin Pollak.
Yes.
You can decide if you want to go first, Tig, or third.
Tig
How
Notaro.
old?
Tig.
You
I'm a
had Tig,
fan.
right? So you
I
get
know
it.
Tig.
How old is Shane Lawrence?
All right, Randy, you go
Brennan.
first.
I'll
and
go
then-
first and then
Pollak
Kevin.
and me.
All right. I definitely don't think he
Let's
is.
work it. Work it back.
Okay, I'm going to work back through this thing. All
It's
right.
Christmas time.
He knows how to use
Morning commute.
He knows how to use transportation. Okay,
Morning rush hour. This isn't like 2 in the morning.
That's right. He's going somewhere. This is not a guy who's on the train for the first time.
Right.
So he's clearly in a routine. Of
They
some
had a
sort.
brief interaction, which means maybe there was some sort he knew.
He
how to-
has a girlfriend. I'm
Capable
going
of public BJ.
Okay, I'm going to assume that his girlfriend
wanted to clean himself off afterwards.
That's right.
With
So
your mom's
I'm going
car
to say
cleaner.
41.
41 years old. You're
41.
going
Yeah.
on the high end.
41 because I think he also still lives at home and his girlfriend also has kids.
No.
Okay. Kevin.
What do you got?
I was thinking in the 40s too, just because who first of all, I thought when you start talking about one of them, they're both drunk or derelicts
Right.
or
You're thinking he may not have another shot at this. He's kind of like, this is maybe the last time I get my dick sucked on an Australian train.
38 is screaming in my head.
Okay.
This guy's 26. There's no way he's a
26.
day. He's not a day over 26.
Okay.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. So we've all worked it down. Let's give me one quick
26,
review.
38, 41.
Okay.
Jason
I'm gonna
26, Kevin 38, Randy 41.
tell you right now, one of you
Is right on.
exactly right. Now, that means we get to play our side game. Who do
is
you think
exactly
is right?
Well, I know now because I'm a poker player, and you're tell
Okay.
on one of us.
Okay, then you should go last
Okay.
for this
You are a
portion.
poker
Okay.
player.
All right.
I think it's me.
All right, you think you are right at a guess of what?
41.
41.
I think Pollak's right.
Okay.
I do. I've lost my faith.
Lost
in
your
myself.
edge. Lost
And I
your-
know based on my reading of tells that it's
Yes.
absolutely Jason.
Okay.
Okay.
We are all different.
I lost confidence in mine and gained confidence in Kevin.
Mine's just
And he
based
gained
on the
confidence
face
in
you
me.
made when he said 26.
So good.
All right.
Good
I
at
could
reading.
hear your sphincter tighten.
Good at reading people.
All right, everybody playing along at home, office, commutes, while along trains.
If I was right and then wrong, I'm going to hate myself.
Okay.
Shane, Lawrence, Brennan, the Christmas dick of while along trains, is 38 years old. Kevin, Pollak.
Your expression when Jason said 26 was
I know.
it must have I don't know you well enough, it must have been the same as what are you, an idiot?
Yeah, now I want to play poker with Kevin.
Oh, my
you are right
God.
to read a tell because over the years of doing this with them, I do react to them as though they
You're
may have gotten it right
absolutely
or
right.
gotten it wrong.
Yeah, there was even a thing within poker which is you took a second beat to question him.
Right.
What number
Right.
what'd you say?
So now, but now
Like
you're
you were-
conscious of that, so you are going to mix
Well,
your
no, I
tone.
won't make that mistake.
It's like now you're not going to tip pitches anymore. You're not in you Darvish. All right.
38 years old.
There you go. 38.
I think
old
we gotta
enough to
take a
know.
break.
Let's take a break. Let's take a break. And when we come back, we're going to hear more about Kevin's great new show that's on the Amazons. We'll be right back.
It's a trying time that challenges all of our basic assumptions. However, one thing that brings us all together is our common humanity. Now, more than ever, teams must come together and work together to solve big challenges. And Trello is here to help. Trello, part of Atlassian's collaborative suite, is an app with an easy-to-understand visual format. Plus, tons of features that make working with your team functional and just plain fun. Teams of all shapes and sizes and companies like Google, Fender, and even Costco all use Trello to collaborate and get work done. With Trello, you can work with your team wherever you are, whether it's at home or in an office. No matter what device you're using, computer, tablet, or phone, Trello syncs across all of them, so you can stay up to date on all the things your team cares about. Keep your workflow going from wherever you are with Trello. Try Trello for free and learn more at Trello.com. That's Trello.com. Trello.com.
All right, guys, welcome back to Dumb People Town. Hope you guys are doing well. We mentioned on last week's episode, and we're going to mention it again. We are going to be in Chicago doing a live Dumb People Town sandwiched in between two stand-up shows with Dan at our friend's bar, the North Bar. I think it's at North Bar Live.
Yep.
Tickets are going. It's going to sell out.
There's only 300 seats that can be sold for the whole night, and I think
I love that you got something in your throat and then I had to clear my throat.
Yeah, what is that?
Stupid.
What is
Brother
that?
love,
Weird.
man. It's brother love.
I blame your mother.
That's right. I blame the Coke. But I would like to talk to Kevin Pollak right now if you guys would just fucking let me for a second.
Jesus.
God, you're all up over me.
The marvelous
Mrs. Maisel. Let me just tell you why I love this show for
Sure.
so many. It hits, like if there was a Sklar wheel It just hits so. I mean, Jay, you can.
Schmott the business.
It's brilliantly written. It's brilliantly written. The show is very funny. All the performances are amazing. You are incredible. We've seen you in many things. We've loved you in many things. I think this is the thing that I love you in more than anything you've ever done. And you told me ahead of time this is in your wheelhouse.
This I might have even said, because I've been saying it to anyone who would listen, which now includes the cat. I haven't done anything I've been this proud of in well over 20 years. I've been gainfully employed. Don't make me say the number because I don't really know it.
No, you haven't.
84 films, but I do know
Oh my God!
that
Just looked it up. He's right.
by far in the last 20 years, and Amy Sherman Palladino and Dan Palladino, the creators and writers of the show, are redonkulous from Gilmore Girls and all
everything they've
stuff.
done. And I love Gilmore Girls and started watching it with my 12-year-old daughter who loves it in such a, like
this is this is a love. This is how much we love the show in general.
This is a fucking jewel.
It's a love letter to comedy, and it's a love letter to New York,
and a love letter to Jews.
There's a moment.
1958.
Yes, there's 1958. There's a moment where when she's up doing stand-up, when they take her around in one of the early episodes to look at all the stand-up shows, it makes us as comedians be like, we got to get up more. We got to do stand-up more.
I watch that. I'm like, we got
a show about a woman in the 1950s is making us say we got to get up and do more stand-up.
Crazy.
Because
also,
you love it.
You have distant or dead relatives that were in the Schmott business?
So our father.
Oh, your father.
Well, our great uncle and then our father bought the business. This is the business that we were in, that we went down. And so he had a warehouse
down in St.
Louis. On 17th and
like the scene I have.
Cut room with the that long table, that long wooden table. You got to understand.
With me and Tony Shalhoub.
Oh my God!
When he comes into their office
to pay for the apartment. Oh my God! It is.
It's the best.
First of all, you guys, I love. It's like 2-man comedy. The two of you. He's amazing.
He's as great as it gets.
He's as great as it gets, and as an actor, he's as great as it gets. What I love is he doesn't jump outside of that character, and he uses that character to the full extent to buttress up against your thing, and it's the best push and pull. You guys are like a comedy team. It's like Abbott and Costello from that time.
We've kind of been in the same conversation for the same role a number of times.
I'm sure.
So that the idea that we would ever work together was never something I would have suggested or predicted. I would have suggested, sorry, not the right word, but predicted in a million years. So the chance to get to dance with him in a scene is ridiculous.
But it is.
But
I would say
even just seeing that location where
I
the
see that
office
long
off to the
table,
side with the view out into the room with the lawn room. That's what we grew up with.
Right.
So
it hits us on that level, on the most specific level. Of course, just developing as a stand-up and going up and developing who you are and being in a scene and that whole thing. It hits us there. Just all the Jewish stuff hits us so hard.
Me
it
too.
all
Me
hits
too.
it so
Me
hard.
too.
This actor, Luke Kirby, who plays a very young Lenny Bruce, which is
amazing.
Lenny Bruce, which I also like in that he's not a household name. He's just starting to hit a New York popularity in his career, and never is an episode about him, which would be the easiest thing to do.
Sure.
It's always,
but he just floats in and out. And then
he floats in and out in a way
that has impact.
And it has impact to different people in different times. So, Alex Borstein's character sees him come by, and I'm not giving anything away.
Loses her mind.
Loses her mind.
But just because he's the best act that comes in
at the thing that she knows everything about. Exactly.
Right.
So he is the
not because he's been on TV,
but he's the pinnacle, and she's so far in it.
But then you see the guys who've been on TV, like they go to the Copa room and they see Red Skelton on stage, and he does like 3 jokes, and they're okay,
right?
But they kill.
Yeah.
Why? Because he's been on TV. So there's that moment where you go. You see the differences in the comedy. There was a bit, and I don't want to give it away. I'm just going to say there was a bit as she's going around and singing, and a guy does a bit. With a ventriloquist
bit. I had never seen it before. And I'm telling you, Jay and I were watching it with my wife. She was sitting down there watching it. The 3 of us were laughing as hard as if we were to see that in a club live. I never saw it, and I was like, we were laughing so hard.
But it was raw, and it was edgy, and that was right for that room. And then you kept seeing the other acts throughout the night, and they were maybe more advanced, but not as funny.
Yeah. They just get it so right.
Really
so it is just a beautiful
music,
show.
The wardrobe.
Oh, my God, the music,
Crazy.
The wardrobe, the way it's shot.
It's in New York, which is it has to be. Yeah. It's just beautiful.
So I'm so proud of you.
Thanks, guys.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we just had the table read for the first episode of season 2 in New York about a week and a half ago, and the fear of a successful first season. It had been picked up to 2 seasons from pilot, so we always knew there was going to be a second season.
Right.
But
to get the award.
Yeah, but the fear was meeting the expectation.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And the only thing I'll say about it is exceeded.
Wow, great.
I mean,
That's awesome.
as a fan of the show,
Exactly.
I can't wait.
Yeah, that's the only killer thing about doing the show is I will have to know ahead of time what happens, and I don't want to.
You don't want to.
That's what we did 2 episodes of Better Call Saul, and in those times, I was like,
I don't want to know.
I don't want to know, and I don't want to take ourselves out of it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
because I'm just a fan. So I
I know the award shows are so funny because they're kind of, a lot of times ahead of the curve. Like Handmaid's Tale will come out and win a bunch of awards, and then everyone's like, I got to start watching that. And the bingeable nature of an Amazon show is, hey, have you seen this? Well, you can watch it in a weekend or 2. You know what I mean?
or a night if
you're like really willing to like.
Because there aren't a ton. It's 8
episodes. So it just is one of those things that I'll say to our fans. If you have not seen it, and if you're listening to this podcast, you obviously love stand-up comedy.
Right.
If you have not seen this show, it is truly a remarkable show, and you will love Kevin Pollak on it so much. You'll go back and listen to this episode and be like, I can't believe we got Kevin Pollak. That's what they're going to say.
I still can't believe it.
And I can't believe it either.
That's absurd. But Dan, I'd like to hear more from you on the show.
Let's do it.
Oh, on his show or this show?
I meant on Maisel. I was totally kidding. I totally went for the joke there. Sorry. Let's get to the damn
Let's get to the
dumb
story
people town
here.
story.
All right, second story was sent in by Scott McLean
Thank you, guys.
at Scott_McLean.
Long time
SCOTT
ago.
_MCC LAIN. Thanks, Scott.
Don
Townie. Edgewater, Florida.
Now we're in it.
Edgewater.
There, we're in it.
A man is accused of setting his neighbor's Corvette on fire.
Well, yeah, it's a Corvette.
Yeah.
I literally am like, what
I
did the
just
guy
want
with
to
the
put
Corvette?
some flames on it. I don't know how to do that.
Come on.
Because he suspected his neighbors of stealing his lawnmower.
Yeah.
Is that Florida justice?
When you say he set his Corvette on fire, I in my brain said, what did the guy with the Corvette do?
He
And
took
now
his
we
lawn.
know.
No, we don't even know. He
But I
suspected
bet
it.
he did something.
Just suspected.
Right.
Oh, man.
And you know that this guy was talking about this for
This
weeks.
is literally a trial by fire.
Flames on my car.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to set his goddamn Corvette on fire.
He loves
You
that
don't even
fucking car.
You don't even know if he took it. I
He
don't
loves
even
that
know.
car. And that's what I'm going to do.
We're about to find out if he took it.
By setting his car on fire?
No, that
Let's
doesn't-
see how pissed he is, because if he's not pissed enough, you know he took the lawnmower.
If he comes out of that house and he's like, "You motherfucker," then he took
Yeah,
it.
he
If he
took
comes
it.
out and he's like, "What are you doing?" then he is
And
innocent.
he didn't
If
take
it's
it.
that's how you know. If it's an 80s
And I'll put it out.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong,
I'll put it out.
I'll put the damn
I'll put it out.
Yeah.
if it's an 80s movie scene, Ico is playing in the background.
That's right.
Ico.
Wow.
Police said they were called to the home on Queen Palm Drive around 11 p.m. Tuesday. Not a day that I would have thought a car was going to get started on fire. In reference to a vehicle fire. A man who was home at the time of the fire said he saw his neighbor, Brandon Rivera, set his roommate's 1984 Chevrolet Corvette on fire. So
That is a car
But
that has-
there's a 1984 Corvette that someone buys because they're like, look at this amazing vintage car that I just found and I'm getting.
Sure.
There's a 1984 Corvette that you've
rust.
had since 1984.
like Jan
That's
Flato.
what this
Jan
is.
Flato's had
Yes,
an
an
84
84 Corvette.
Yes.
Yes. He's lived in it twice.
So this, I want to
He's
paint
got
sure you
mail
understand the
delivered
picture.
to it.
He's
It
had
is
mail delivered to his Corvette.
Tuesday night around 11. There's a man in a house, and he sees that a Corvette's on fire. That Corvette belongs to his roommate,
Okay.
and it's an 84. So keep that in mind.
Just being an adult and having roommates tells you a lot
Right.
about who
And
they
one of
are.
them's
in
in-
Florida, in Edgewater, Florida, where I'm
Yeah, I mean,
guessing
I understand
it's not
that.
crazy expensive.
I understand it in New York. I get it.
It's an expensive place.
If
You got a
two
room.
grown men in Florida live together, and one of them has an 84 Corvette, both of them have been divorced.
Are both are going through a divorce.
It's the
Both of them
original
are-
Odd Couple, I think. The opening credits.
Oh, I'm sorry. The car belongs to a married couple who lives at the home.
Okay. So
he's just the roommate.
He's a roommate of the
to a
married couple.
That's how rough things
And
are for all
they
of
said to him as they went to bed, just keep an eye on the car.
I can see it from the window.
Just whatever you do, keep an eye on it.
that. Nothing happens.
I was enjoying the nightlight. while I was reading my book, and I did not realize it was coming from the flames of a car.
That's the nicest Florida person I've ever heard. Reading a book.
Reading a book. Well,
Here's where you got it wrong. Reading a book.
It was more.
I meant a book of matches. Was that not clear?
Okay.
It says come back
I
on one
can't
side
draw
of
the squirrel like on the matches.
it. Police said they spoke to Brandon Rivera,
Oh, Brandon.
and told him that he told the cops that he suspected the couple of stealing things from him, including his lawnmower. So he's just balancing it out because in his head they've taken a lot from him.
So you took that from me?
Yep.
The lawnmower was the last straw.
Yeah, that's it.
Which they may or may not have even
We don't
taken.
know.
We don't know yet.
There's no way to find out either.
This is dumb people, Tom.
There's really no way to find out.
Brandon Rivera said he couldn't find lighter fluid, so he grabbed a Gatorade bottle filled with gasoline.
Sorry. Sounded like the Gatorade bottle was already
It was.
just happened to be in
Yeah,
the garage.
Yep.
Hand me that Gatorade. The one with the Gatorade in it? No.
Wait, the spitter? Your spitter?
No, the one with the gasoline.
See, I
in it.
pictured 74 Gatorade bottles filled with gasoline.
Right.
Yeah, on the wall.
Also,
That's right.
they don't say it, but in my mind, it's way old school Gatorade bottle with the metal. Remember, Gatorade used to be in a glass bottle with an orange metal,
Yes.
and you could
Yes.
click it. Like every kid at the Little League field was like, click their little.
Yes, I do remember that.
So-
I just imagine like they're like, "Sir, we did not steal the lawnmower," and the cops are there, and every else's lawn is like overgrown.
Yeah.
stuff.
And there's
their
like-
lawn is like
a Scott's commercial.
perfectly manicured lawn. They're like, "We don't know what you're talking about."
And I love that he said he couldn't find lighter fluid, which means that he was like, I did not set the fire. However, I want you to know I
could
couldn't
not
find
find
lighter fluid, so I had to use a Gatorade bottle full of gasoline that he said he had in his vehicle from a landscaping job. So the guy who has a lawnmower stolen also has a landscaping job,
Not
which
anymore.
I imagine is not going
anymore.
well.
Yeah.
This is why he's pissed.
Yes,
they
he
stole his livelihood.
Yeah, they stole his ability to make more money.
Which, if I'm the couple who allegedly set it on fire,
Right. No, they got
allegedly
their set
stole
on-
it,
Yeah,
allegedly
yeah,
stole it,
Lawnmower.
then I'm stealing his livelihood for the reason to hurt him
Yeah,
deep.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. That is a deep cut.
Yeah.
To which is why he feels like the Corvette is their livelihood.
It's easy payback.
Eye for an
Now
eye.
we're even. He
Right.
definitely-
Eye for an eye. That's
he
biblical.
That's
Yeah.
right. He definitely threw the match in and said, "Now we're even."
Doesn't it feel like with Corvettes, there's a swath of years where they aren't great?
84.
Is it?
It's in that year.
It's gotta be.
Yeah,
Where
yeah,
they
absolutely.
weren't great.
Yeah, like the 70s held on some with some of the Stingrays.
The
Obviously,
Stingrays-
nothing compares to like
there's
the
a-
67.
No.
Okay.
So
I'm
what,
sorry,
what
there's
was
a-
Smokey? Smokey and the Bandit was
That's a Trans Am with
Trans
the
Am.
T-top.
Trans Am.
But the
T-top.
Corvette, there's a Stingray in my neighborhood.
Because Corvettes are great now.
Oh my
again.
God.
Mid-80s.
They're gorgeous.
Shit.
All right, so
Yeah, right?
There was
Garbage.
there was a Stingray Corvette in my neighborhood, and I think it is the coolest looking car I've ever seen. Yeah, okay, so
Do you
they're
know
throwing
what
up
year
some
it is?
pictures of them. All right,
Oh, that's an 84 Vet.
Yeah.
So that's similar to what Magnum drove, but not
kind
a
of like the
Ferrari.
back.
Magnum drove a Ferrari.
So
Right.
the back is kind of cool, but
No,
the
that's
front-
not a good
It's
car.
not a good.
These
That looks like the top red one, second to the left.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
like a
Looks
Firebird.
like a Toyota Celica.
Yeah,
it does.
Right?
Looks like a Tom Selleck.
Not that impressive.
Yeah, that's not a great car.
No.
See, this year of Corvette, if you want to look it up, all you townies, 84 is essentially, if you're from Rochelle, Illinois, like I am, this is what's being in the parade.
Yeah, that's
Like a guy with a denim baseball hat is driving this in every local
and
parade.
driving the Miss Rochelle,
Little Miss Peanut.
Illinois. Yeah, Little Miss
guy who owns the strip club. Has
that's
this.
a real-
That's it.
That's who
That's
has
it.
this car.
That's it.
Right.
Got it.
And he's making payments on it.
right. He's
He's
still making payments.
still making
Seven
payments.
So
away.
picture one of those on fire.
Right.
And a missing lawnmower. And we're back.
And
in
we
the
have
story.
ourselves a case.
Brandon Rivera said he must have confessed because he first attempted to pour the fluid through a cracked window on the Corvette. But when that didn't work, what do you think he did?
Poured it all over
Or
the
all
hood.
the top.
Nope. He opened the door and dumped the gasoline on the seat. Why did he think he had to go through a cracked window in the first
Because he
place?
didn't want his handprints on the door when they come to
You're
do
giving
it.
He's not an idiot.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
No way.
Goddamn.
No
Come on.
way.
He wants to do it in in a discreet way.
He opened the door, dumped the gasoline on the seat.
By the way,
then-
if you're parking your car on the street and you leave the door open,
And you live in Edgewater and you
live in
have
Edgewater,
roommates
and
and
you
you're
have
an adult?
roommates, you're inviting trouble. You're
You are
asking for
trouble.
it to be burned.
Trouble is in your life.
You're essentially saying you are like a woman masturbating on a train.
How
You're
many-
saying, come on
Put
in.
the dick in my
How many
mouth.
cars does this couple have that they needed to park on the
street.
Lawn?
On the lawn.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They said that he dumped all the gasoline on the seat, then used a lighter to set it on fire. Police said Riviera then shut the door and walked away because he thought the fire appeared small.
Well, it
He
starts
walked
small.
away.
Walked away.
He lit,
Thinking that'll go out.
That's
not
what
a
he
big
said.
deal.
So what'd you do after you set on fire? I shut the door and I walked away because
away.
I thought it was small.
Yeah.
But
Does he mean you would have stayed if it was big?
That's what I don't understand that either. That's welcome to
That
Dumb
is
People's
Dumb
Town.
People's Town. That is
there's
like
no logic.
that is a strain of logic
Yep.
that he's following.
Florida.
The roommate of the couple who owns the Corvette, who I hope the whole time was like, it's not even my car. He's mad at them for like always cleaning up their
So
messes.
this is the roommate.
Confused by a matchbook.
He used a garden hose to extinguish the flames.
This guy is a hero.
The top of the Corvette had a covering placed on it Thursday morning. Brandon Rivera.
That's like a body bag, like in a cop movie.
Yeah.
You know, you put it in, zip it up.
Sure.
Brandon Rivera was charged with burglary and arson.
Yeah, breaking and entering. He entered.
He
the
entered
thing.
someone else's
Classic
property.
B&A.
I'm gonna ask.
Although he didn't be. He didn't be.
His arm.
He e'd.
His arm might have.
He e'd, but
Yeah.
he didn't be.
Yeah, does that
If it's
count as
open, is that a B?
No,
It
it's
is,
just
though, right?
Burglary.
It is
Just burglary and arson.
There's no breaking.
Yeah, he
B
didn't.
and, to B and A.
Yeah,
Just a
burglary
It's
and
a B.
arson.
It's a B of A.
No, but the B is a breaking. B and E is a breaking
Do
and
you think
entering.
they said, what would you have done if it was a big fire? And he's like, I would have put it out.
Yeah.
But it was a little fire.
I
I,
didn't
left
think
it.
there was trouble.
Right.
And I saw that the roommate was looking at me over his matchbook.
Yep.
Get him.
He seemed like he was having difficulty reading in the dark.
By the night
So
light.
I said, I'll
Light it up.
Put a light on
light
the
it up.
situation.
You know what God said? Let there be light.
Light
I
it
just
up.
walked away,
I'm going to ask you guys now.
filled up a few more Gatorade bottles full of gasoline.
My three friends.
Yes.
How old is Brandon Rivera?
We're going to jump right to that?
Yeah. This is it. We're
it?
good.
All right.
That's the end of it.
It's the end of this.
I could show you what he looks like, but I feel like it's going to give away, so I'll show you afterwards, and
don't
we
do
will,
that.
we will all
his
make
picture
fun
will,
of.
his picture will be on the Facebook page, which
So-
we're asking you to join.
So Brendan's the guy with the lawn mowing business
Yep.
apparently,
who lit the Corvette on
The small
he's got a lot
small
of
fire.
he's got a lot of theories. You know. By the way, when you're mowing lawns, you have a lot of time to work
He
up
also thinks they
theories.
stole other things from him, too.
other things, not just that.
I'm going to go first. If you
Okay,
want.
go
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah, I
please.
want you
Just
to.
because I won the first round.
Yeah, you did.
In terms of being on the
Beautifully.
nose.
Sure.
Beautiful.
Then
Nailing
you
it.
were right and
Got the number exactly.
right.
Uh-huh.
And
Let's
you
just
didn't,
leave it there.
You didn't
Let's not
believe in
talk about
yourself.
the rest.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
I was going off a poker.
Yeah.
I bluffed it.
Yeah. To me, it's a little more impressive to get the number exactly.
That's
Yeah,
true.
no,
That
it's
is
very
Being a fan of the
extraordinarily
show.
impressive.
No one's disputing
Being a
that.
fan of the show.
Extraordinarily.
It doesn't happen a lot.
It
Sure.
does, it does
I think
not
it's maybe
happen.
happened 5
Someday,
times.
Dumb People Town will have a Wikipedia that none of us will work on, and it
it'll
will
say
list everybody who's
Kevin
ever gotten
Pollak
it
got
exactly,
it exactly right. Okay.
I'd like to be on the trophy.
I just, to me, we succeed if that gets into Kevin Pollak's Wikipedia
Oh, it is.
page.
Oh, it has to get
If
there.
that fact that he got
I'm
guessed
writing
the
it.
age right on our podcast on his Wikipedia page, and I want it to
under
be
professional career.
no, I
under
want
that
it to be
part.
above A Few Good Men, just above it.
Right.
That's all I want.
Sure.
And it would just say a
Yeah.
few good guesses.
That's right.
Okay, what do you think? How old is
So
this
I'm going to
guy?
go with the exact same number, 38.
Okay, fine.
Because it's been so good to me.
It's a good number.
Wow. Jay.
I think he's about 32. I think 38 feels a little old for someone who would do
32.
this. 32
Okay.
on his own.
I think he's 27.
27
Yeah,
years
so
old.
I really
you're
do.
wrong. You're gonna. Dan knows. Oh, that's a fake tell.
No. I think it's
Now
27.
fake
got
tells?
everybody
Now
here.
I don't know.
I think it's 27 because
Okay.
I think as you get older, you realize you have more to like. The truly dumb people in Dumb People Town are the old folks who have seen a lot of this world and
Still make the mistakes.
Right. So to me, this is a guy who thinks he can solve a mistaken or a potential, stole a lawnmower with lighting a fire.
I will
Small
say,
fire.
though, the idea of an eye for an eye, which is you stole my livelihood, so I'm going to set your Corvette on fire. He could be 58.
Yeah, I know.
right.
That's true.
You know what I mean? He's got his business
Sure.
for a long time.
Right.
And
That's,
he's
that's
like,
old
Right.
guy
"You
landscaping
fucking
logic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think landscape is a young man's
Okay, so
game.
what would it
Dan, what do you think?
I'm going to say 27. I'm going to say
27 from Randy. Jason, what did you say?
32.
32. What did you say, Mr.
Matt's
Kevin?
about
38. He's staying on 38.
One of you
If this is a roulette
Shut
game,
up.
is exactly
Shut up.
No, this has never happened in
Now.
one show.
Who do you think it is?
Of course it's me. Of course it's me.
You're our guest. Do you want to go
It's
first?
me.
Okay,
It's
you go with this. So-
absolutely me.
All right. Jason Sklar?
If it's you, I'm going to lose my shit.
No, I think it should go worse than losing your shit. I think it's $20 a head.
Oh, yeah. I'll give him $20. I will hand him $20 if it's him, but I think it's him. I think it's him.
You do too?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's me.
All right.
Yeah.
Brandon Rivera.
This is crazy.
Who had his lawnmower stolen by his neighbor and
Allegedly.
his wife. Allegedly. Suspected them. Set it on fire and left the roommates lacking.
I'm reaching for my wallet right now. I'm going into the wallet.
His age is. And listen, all you townies.
Shout it out.
Please play along at home. Look at the person to your left on the train and say,
Stop
whatever
masturbating.
your number is.
And
Listen to this.
Brandon Rivera is 38 years old.
I'm not giving him $20.
Has that ever been done?
No.
That someone was 2 for 2?
I'm giving him $20.
I'm giving him $20.
$20 of my money.
I just get...
He doesn't want that money.
Has it ever been done on the show?
No.
out of
No
two?
one has ever won twice. That's a world record.
That needs to go on the record.
That
needs to go on the record of the show.
And with the same number.
the same age.
And now I get to show you what he looks like. He looks like if a thumb became a person.
How did the thumb get so much hair?
Doesn't he look like a thumb person?
First of all,
He has the front lack of neck.
If this guy showed up Sunday night as Bob's brother on Bob's Burgers,
I was just going to say, Bob's Burgers. He's got the front neck. The necklace wonder.
I mean, he's rocking a soul patch.
he looks like Bob's brother Bill.
he does.
And he showed up needing help and he wants to work the restaurant. Bob hates him. Linda wants to give him a
Chinless.
chance.
That's what it is. Not
38.
necklace. It's a chinless wonder.
He looks like the
chinless, but
lead
he's
singer
not-
from Smash Mouth ate the lead singer from Fastball.
Oh, he definitely played. The little soul patch says he plays bass.
Yeah, he's definitely. And those people stole that shit.
I
too.
want him to mow my lawn. That's a trustworthy.
I love him
There
so
you
much.
go.
Dude,
Kevin
that is
Pollak, 2 for 2.
Unreal.
Same age.
38
that's unbelievable.
special.
38. That's what we got to call this episode. 38 special. All
No,
right.
because it would give it away.
Yeah, completely.
Oh, yeah, we can't call it that.
You could call it the
Hold on loosely.
The Pollak's, right?
That gives it away too.
That's right. You don't want to give it away. We don't want to give anything away because you have to enjoy this. Hold on loosely.
Hold on loosely might be it.
All right, that's story 2. Dan, can you give us a little tease what we are going to look for in segment 3?
We have something that is dumb but not bad.
Great. I always
It's
love
just
that.
a good little feel-good dumb people town
Feel
story.
good dummies. Kevin Pollak's with us. This is Dumb People Town. Stay with us. One more segment.
Hey there, Adam Conover here. Humans Who Make Games is my podcast where I sit down with the people who created some of your favorite video games and have the kind of long-form personal conversation we so rarely get to hear. We talk about how they got into the industry, what their favorite games were growing up, and what it's like working in the trenches of this century's greatest new art form. This season, we've got a whole batch of new interviews for you. I talked to Kim Swift from Portal, Alex Preston from Hyperlight Drifter, Anna McGill from Control, and Alex Beecham from the game Outer Wilds. Whether you love video games or you just love learning more about other artists' creative process, I can guarantee you're going to love this podcast. So, you can get Season 2 of Humans Who Make Games wherever you get your podcasts. Take a listen.
All right, welcome back to Dumb People Town. Again,
AKA Kevin Pollak gets it right.
Kevin Pollak is
Gets
right.
it right.
We also want to mention that we're starting to work this drip thing that we're really
It's like a
excited about.
Patreon scenario.
Guys, there's going to be so many great opportunities. You're going to get bonus content. There's going to be opportunities for people to come see us free whenever we do something live.
To support people who've been wronged in our community.
Oh, there's going to be a little bit of
Flato level
in there. Yes.
So all I was saying is we're going to announce it and kind of roll it all out. We'll probably announce it in the coming week or weeks.
I would say within a week after this drops. Probably by the next episode.
Okay, so we'll explain it all to you how it's going to go, and then you have a chance to, if you want to get more stuff and do, you can always do that. But the show will continue for everybody who likes it the way that it is.
Is investing in this town, and we will reward you for it.
Oh, hell yes. I do want to talk to you because you are among our friends the one who has done, we were talking before, the Johnny Carson show. You did the
I'm the
Tonight
older
Show with
friend.
Carson. No, you're a friend you're I'm going to say a successful friend because to do that show is a big honor, and I know that Johnny loved you because he loved what you did on the show. And you were just telling a little story about, because you only did panel on that show. You didn't do stand up.
Yeah, so, that part of it is a much longer story that's in the one book I put out called How I Slept My Way to the Middle. Not just a funny title and technically still available.
Yeah, and he's still doing it.
It's a very long story of how I took the reins, maybe the only time, of my destiny by my encounter with Jim McCauley, the gatekeeper of the Tonight Show, who booked stand-ups. The short version is he said, "You ready to do the show?" And I said, "I want to wait till you can justify bringing me out to do panel like I have a movie or a TV show out. I think I'll have a greater impact." So there's a much longer version story of that.
Amazing.
So finally, Willow, the Ron Howard directed, George Lucas produced, and they bring me out as an actor. Yeah. So I know from being a fan of the show my whole life, Carson loves Peter Falk, and he loves impersonations. He does a few himself.
Right.
So Macaulay, in the pre-interview, spoiler alert, there always is a pre-interview on these shows, and he says, "What do you want Johnny to ask you for the first question?" And I said, "Just have him say, 'I understand you do impersonations,' and I will launch into Peter Falk." And in my mind, thinking, and change the course of my life.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm that much of a fan of his and the
you
show.
knew the impact of that show.
Can I ask you, Clevin, do you remember driving to the studio that day?
I do. I remember that.
They sent a car.
That's the stuff I love about these stories. But that's the stuff I love is going there, waiting. This is your greeting, like all of that.
Yeah.
Who else was on the show? Do you know?
No.
Okay.
Standing. I was bumped the first time because Sammy Davis Jr. sang 4 songs, not 3, which would have been weird.
Yeah.
Because he only booked for 2.
2,
Yeah.
right.
3 would have been weird. He did 4. And I'm in my dressing room. Because, you've called every human being you've ever known.
And your nerves are going crazy. Because if you don't call them,
you're going to
hear it the rest of your life.
Yeah. So now I have to call back 84 people, and I'm kicking the walls in the dressing room of The Tonight Show because Sammy Davis Jr., right, is singing 4 songs, and I'm losing my mind.
Sure, because
but he came into the dressing room after the show and said, "I am so sorry. You kids with the whole shakunk-ka-kunk." He literally said, shakunk-ka-kunk. That's a quote.
Stop. I thought you were Shaka Khan.
Yeah. So I remember standing behind the curtain, right, and the band's playing their way to commercial, and I remember them coming back from commercial, and Macaulay standing next to me. He's the one that pulls the curtain back from backstage. And I remember hearing Carson say, "Welcome back, folks. My next guest is he's an actor. Got a new movie out called Willow. We'll talk about that. And I also understand he's a stand-up comedian. So we'll get into that a little bit too. Please welcome Kevin Pollak." And I remember, curtain. I'd already decided, don't wave at the band like you've seen everyone do. You don't know Doc. Don't be that asshole.
Yes.
You wave if you're invited back. You walk right to that fucking desk and talk to Mr. Carson.
Go right to that chair, to the man.
So I went up, and he's standing. The king, right, stands at the throne. Unlike Lena, who would dance out from behind the desk later and hug you. Hey, good to see you. Carson the king would stand at the throne, and you pass in front of him, and you sit down. And he sits down. And he says, "Now, Kevin, we'll talk about Willow in just a second. Somebody told me that you do voices. Is that right?" And without missing a beat, I taught myself to cross just one eye because Peter Falk was very open about having a glass eye, and I just crossed one eye, shot my arm up in the air, and said, "Johnny, that's a bold-faced lie." And he literally lost his shit. He was clutching his chest, pushing himself away from the
what
desk.
That must have felt like.
Yeah.
Crowd going nuts because they're watching him
They're
go
watching
crazy.
him, and he's losing his mind.
Right, yeah.
But I mean, for you.
Oh, forget it.
Like quick side story, we just got to go see the part 2 of the Gary Shandling documentary.
Yes.
And even in there, Gary said when he got Tonight Show, he's like, "I don't know what else I do. This is all." Yeah. And you saying I geared my destiny towards that. That's what Gary felt like about that show too. Yeah. And so you're like getting that laugh.
It's 1988. It's 5 years before his retirement.
Right.
And it really was, it was the pinnacle.
Yeah.
And my heroes, Albert Brooks, Steve Martin, Rickles, they had sat on the couch and done their act in the guise of conversation.
Right.
So it was all geared towards that.
Yes. Right.
And because he loved the impressions, he had me back on after that moment. That first time, 2 or 3 times a year until he retired. And I'm telling you, it's because I knew he loved Peter Falk. That was the beginning.
That was the best way to open. That was the best way to open that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he was just like, it's one of those things that like we understand when something he knew that you were good for the show.
Yeah, and
that's the other thing. He's not helping you out. You're actually helping the show out.
The best compliment you could ever get being on that show was not that a routine went over, that a bit went over. The best compliment you could get was, "Johnny really likes you."
Yeah.
Right?
That was it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. That's awesome,
my
man.
God, what a great story.
Chills.
Me too.
Fans of the show, I love it.
Miles. 2 miles from here, by the way.
Yep.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
Not even. So close.
All right, ready for this?
Let's do
Story
it. A
number
dumb
3.
good person.
Sent in by Josh Christopher at Barnes, Troy. BARNESCOMMATROY. Thanks, Josh Christopher. I'm going to read you the headline. After breaking record for consecutive days eating Chipotle.
Wait, who wrote this? Like someone who does not speak English and then is like writing for like the international.
This is the headline.
Times. Okay, after breaking
record for consecutive days eating Chipotle, Ohio man says he's ready for something new.
That's it?
Yeah.
I thought he said Ohio man's anus prolapsed. You know what I mean? Like just something
Ohio
happened.
man says, I took all the Chipotle like Daniel Van Kirk told me to. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. Dan.
You can get all the free Chipotle Tabasco sauce you
I
want.
told
They don't
that you
care.
could
Take
sip
it.
jar.
How long
It's for the customer.
How long did he eat it for?
Well, we'll get to that.
He hadn't said.
So there's a record that's been broken.
He
Ohio
broke it.
native. Ready for his
Not
name?
a record. Record.
Record been broken.
Record.
I'm sorry, Kevin. You're saying record been broken?
I am.
All right.
Records be breaking, y'all. Ohio
This
native.
is like a Mexican supersize me. He's going on.
Yes.
He's
like, He's doing something.
Right.
It's like a Hispanic Spurlock.
Ohio native Bruce Wayne. That is his name.
Absolutely.
Who else?
I will not accept that.
Yes.
Because he's not Gotham native?
No.
Finally ended. He also doesn't have parents. Finally ended his
Anymore.
Chipotle streak Wednesday after grabbing a meal at the Tiffin Chipotle branch.
I'm assuming that he cannot
Look
afford
at
it.
him.
Cannot afford it, but has a butler.
Look at him. He's so Midwest.
Okay.
That
yes.
haircut suggests he did some time in the military.
Yeah. Well, that's
Or went to Ohio State.
He's at least all business.
He's all business.
He's holding up an iPad for some reason.
I want to thank him for his service before we make an idiot out of him.
Sorry. Thank you for your service.
He saw the shat signal in the sky.
Same thing
and
he said
came
to the
down.
young gentleman behind the counter at the Chipotle.
Oh, wait. That's where we're going
Thank you for your
next.
service.
Thank you for your service.
And not to be outdone, the Findlay Courier reports Mr. Bruce Wayne ended his streak in style by donning a bat suit and ordering mini quesadillas because, quote, leather isn't very forgiving.
Oh, boy.
This is him in a full-on bat suit.
I love the tacos.
Sir, I can't hear you. You're just whispering.
I cannot understand a word he's saying. Sir, there's a lot of noise. Can you guys be quiet back there?
What part of all of the tacos?
All of it. I can't understand
No, I
anything
can-
he's saying. Here's the only part that I understood was what part of don't you understand, and then I can't guys.
I love the sofritas. Sofritas.
Again, guys, can everybody stop?
Who are you supposed to be, sir? Who are you supposed to be? We're teeing you up for it.
Who are you supposed to be?
Say it. Okay, what do you want me to do with that information?
I will say, though, the first trailer I saw for Tim Burton's original Batman, when Michael Keaton is holding that guy up in the trailer and says, I'm Batman, I did lose my mind.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
I want you to tell your friends
It was
about
one
me.
of the most,
And then the other best part of the trailer is when that guy's running and he's behind the wall and he sticks his arm out and punches him without looking.
Sure.
Oh, I'll never forget that. So not only has he been going to the Tiffin Chipotle for a long time, this is his regular shtick. And I wonder, do people realize what their name is and then become the type of person that makes it insufferable? Or was just that type of person given a name?
I think he changed his name. Like, I don't think this is his name. I think he's just going as
I
this.
think he was born Bruce Wayne.
I think it's born Bruce Wayne, but I would also like to jump ahead and predict what the number is that you're going to have us guess,
Well,
which is the
How
number
many
of
days?
times he went to Chipotle.
How many
I have
consecutive
2 more
days?
sentences before we get to it.
Oh, no, but is that the number you're going to ask us?
Yeah,
Oh,
okay,
okay.
good. So we know that. So put that
you
in
just
your
want to
pocket.
win again and
I
be
know,
on the
I-
spot.
Oh, I know it's 38.
It's going to say 38.
It's 38?
I know he's gonna say
It's
38.
absolutely 38.
We have no rules against guessing the same number. When it opened way back in 2016, Bruce found that the restaurant's menu lined up well with his diet, and he set out to beat the current record of nonstop eating from Chipotle.
By the way,
First of all, I
nobody has
wouldn't
ever
call-
said that about Chipotle.
Nope.
And I
You're
wouldn't
gonna tell
call
us-
that a
Actually,
diet.
it's very paleo.
You going to tell us the known record?
Yeah.
Yeah, what he beat?
Yeah.
Yeah. After posting online for as long as I have, no one has stepped forward yet saying there's a record in excess of what I've accomplished. So he's worried about competitive people.
And by the
out
way,
there.
he is trusting the internet to give him his information.
Always good.
No one online has told me that it's not a record.
By the way,
so-
if you eat Chipotle
official.
for like 8 days straight, you start like losing it's not like
But
bodily
you could
function.
really mix
you
it
start
up.
to not
No, you
use
could
like
really mix it up.
consonants.
You
when
could
you
taught
talk.
it. You could mix it up so that it's so different and basic. You
Dan.
could just do chicken and rice.
Dan,
Stop.
I had Mexican food at my daughter's Les Mis cast party.
And you found out it was Domino's. I get it.
No, last night. And this morning, there were things happening in my body that like felt like they weren't connected
That's
to
the
my
salsa.
body. I don't know what that is, but I'm saying like that was once one
That's
meal.
just Jews and onions.
Yes, I meant just one meal.
That's the title of
Can I
this
have my
episode.
takeaway?
Yeah,
Offer
yeah,
my-
yeah.
Yes.
My daughter's Les Mis cast party.
Yeah, that's right.
I know.
Yeah,
I thought we
that's
were
your
going to
takeaway.
That is.
Yeah.
Please,
Thank God he got it out
trying
there.
to tell her not to be an
Chapter
actress.
7.
Yeah.
My daughter's Les Mis.
And, which my wife had a few margaritas and then asked the drag queens who
Sure.
were there to come and
sounds
do
like a great party.
do a performance of a chorus line, which is what they're going to do in the summertime in front of the kids. So bunch of 12-year-old kids, some 11, some 13, while a 6'6" in heels drag queen, full made up, sings or lip syncs tits and ass to them.
Which you and your wife thought was a good idea.
Which my wife thought it was a good idea.
Randy did not think it was
I
good.
was just in the back going like, "That's my wife."
Silver Lake.
Silver Lake 90039. Anyway, that's what I did to teach my daughters their
The address.
our address.
You
We made it into a song.
And then every time you
My
see something
address,
purely Silver Lake.
Silver Lake, I'm like Silver Lake.
Yeah.
So that's
man
what
in like a hat. It's 105 degrees outside
Sure,
of
sure.
Wolfcat. Silver Lake.
But Bruce Wayne had no intention of stopping at just the record. He went way past that. I'm going to
Way
ask you guys
past.
now, how many days in a row did Bruce Wayne eat
And you're
at
not going to
Chipotle?
tell us the original record? Or you
No,
are?
not. I will after you guess this number.
Okay.
Well, I'm done. It's 38.
Okay.
That's what you're going for?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I know I'm wrong, but I have to say it because
You
I'm
don't
2 for
have
2.
to.
Of course
Yes,
I
it
do.
does. 52.
52 days.
Jason?
79 days.
79 days.
Yeah.
So you're saying
In a
I
row.
don't have to stick with 38?
No, you don't.
You're trying to be right 3 times, not right with 38.
Okay, since I've already set an all-time record for the show,
right
of
Playing
getting-
with house money at this
being
point.
right twice
But you
and with
could-
the same
I mean,
number,
you could
no one
go-
will ever touch that.
No,
Nobody will
But
ever
if you
touch
go
it.
3 for 3 straight up, that's like
But
immortal.
But it's not going to be the same number, so it's a different record.
It's fine.
The record that I have will never be broken. So now I can just experiment. You said way beyond the record,
Right.
But the record could have been 9.
Yeah,
you
right.
know, I mean, it's kind of crazy that there was
It is
a record.
Chipotle.
And the numbers you guys gave were
I said 52. You said
79.
79.
Jason says 79. Randy says 52 for people listening at home. Kevin Pollak, who I guess is going third.
as it turns out.
After going first.
Yeah.
And second. You go second on the
now
other
he
one.
gets to go third.
I don't really hate 38, but I feel like I have to mix it up. Wow. I mean, I'm surprised that someone went for a record ever
Yeah.
Right.
at Chipotle.
And then someone
I mean, I
obliterated
once
it.
went for a record of drinking margaritas there and got drunk.
That was one night.
Sure.
I know.
Okay. And that was 3.
Also, that a record existed that someone found out about.
Yeah, exactly.
So the initial record had to be more than what a normal person does.
Right.
But you
Just
could say
saying that.
22.
22
is
could be a
more
lot.
than
If someone's like, I
normal.
had Chipotle 22 days in a row, you'd be like, why?
You're a madman.
Well, you're a mess. I don't even want to see your insides.
Yeah, I think even 11. I want
I'm
to take him to the
surprised-
hospital.
Yeah,
Do you
your
guys
kidneys
feel
have shut
better
down.
about your guesses if I gave you the record he beat? Or do you like
No,
just
I like just
I
guessing
do
into
too.
the
Okay.
wind.
Straight
I
up
like
guess.
just straight up guessing into the
Okay.
wind. 52,
Are you feeling
79.
38 is too high or too low? What are you leaning on right now?
I'm a little torn because if you set out to set a record that he beat, but if you went out and decided I'm going to set the record,
Right.
That
then
no
you
one will be.
then you would have to go close to a month. You'd have to,
Right.
to even establish a record.
By the way, a month is 30. So if you want to
It's
say
crazy.
if you want to say 38, that's fine.
I
That's
know,
in
I
your
know, I
wheelhouse.
know.
It's in your
And
wheelhouse.
what if it is 38 and you're getting off of it?
and
Which
you're
would
getting
be-
off it? You're going to be.
You know what? I can't lose. It's 30.
38.
Hey, there you go.
Okay. So,
Pollak.
one more time for everybody
So
playing at home. Get your
consistent.
answers in. Randy Sklars says.
52.
Jason Sklars says.
79.
Kevin Pollak.
30. You know what he was going to say.
I'm Batman.
You're who? I can't understand.
Bruce Wayne. Master Bruce Wayne. Went to the Tiffin location. Maybe other ones as well.
Where am I, Tiffin?
The amount of days that he ate Chipotle in a row
I believe this is day
is
38.
500.
Oh my God!
Now I don't believe it. Now I don't. I literally
The
don't believe
record
it.
was 425.
500 days.
500 days of Chipotle.
Of
There's
summer.
no one that listens to this show that went over 200.
There is no one who went over 100.
I
Right.
thought I was being extreme at 79.
79.
I did too.
Wow.
I thought it was out of control.
Congratulations.
Here's why I said there's nothing bad. It's actually just a fun little dumb people story. In honor of his dedication, Chipotle pledged to match the average amount of money Bruce Wayne spent en route to the record and made a donation to the Seneca-based Financial Assistance for Cancer Treatment.
All right. Chipotle. I love it.
Outside
I wish they would have taken that money and bought real beef. That's my only.
It is good.
You mean the pink barbacoa?
Get the chicken.
Thank you, Batman.
Chicken. Outside this goal, he also takes care of intellectually challenged students and makes both paid and charitable appearances as his namesake Batman.
Love him.
So he's like a good little
He's a good Batman. He does good.
Who
Good guy.
likes
He just loves his Chipotle.
franchise Mexican
Just
food.
makes dumb
And
food
diarrhea.
choices.
And
He encourages anyone with a passion to pursue it, says the local Chipotle.
I wouldn't call this a passion.
And says the local Chipotle staff treats him like family, which means they're slightly mad he's there and wants him to leave.
Yeah,
I could be honest with you. I could have gone 510.
he really could have.
Yeah. Now he was just toying with people.
At the beginning of that whole thing, he was wearing a utility belt. At the end, that thing did not fit.
No.
That thing
What
did
was
not
the previous record you said?
425, I
See,
believe.
that is insane.
Still
In
in
its
its
own
own
right.
right, and an amazing one.
In a post on his-
125 would have been nuts, right?
It would have been insane.
In a post on his Instagram Tuesday, Bruce Wayne says, quote, and we'll get out of here on this, "It's not just the end of one adventure, it's the start of a new one."
What does that
I
mean?
don't look out,
What in
Hardee's.
the world does
I have
that mean?
no idea.
That's
What
like
in
from the
world
trailer from the new Batman movie, I think.
I love the chicken.
That's his new adventure.
His new adventure. I love the chicken.
Salad bowl.
Guacamole's extra. Is that fine?
Yeah.
Did you say yeah? Because the coughing,
We
I
can't hear
tell.
you. We
Can't
can't
hear you. It sounds like you're just grunting.
All right. Well, before we get out of here, occasionally we do have
a pipeline to the great beyond.
and I can't believe we got this. I cannot believe he left us a message, but he heard we were talking about him. Peter Falk has left us a message
From
for
the
our
great
show.
beyond. Let's listen to it.
You have one new voice message.
I don't know. I think it beeps. I can't tell. Hello? Yes, geez, I don't know what to say. I've listened to the show and I'm a big fan. And, I have one question. Which one's Dan?
I mean, look, if you're going to ask a question, I mean, look.
And it is great that he did have just one more, like one
And
question.
part of me hopes
Yeah.
that he thinks I'm Dan.
Yes!
That Randy and Dan and
I
then
just would love it
Pretty good.
if he called me Shelly Cornpet. All right,
so
guys,
fantastic.
unbelievable. Kevin Pollak, thank you so much.
watch the marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Run,
He is
don't
Mr.
walk.
Maisel.
He is so good in this, and you guys will love him so much when you see this. Check that out. Hey, by the way, can people check out any of the Kevin Pollak chat shows still? Is that's a
Oh,
thing?
yeah. It's all over YouTube, the video and then the audio.
That was so fun to do.
I
when
was
we
just
did
like,
it.
I just did
TV. I've had all three of you on.
Yeah.
You've done it. It's like Charlie
check out
Rose
my
without him
episode.
Without all
sexually
the
harassing
touching.
you.
Without all the
Yeah.
it's like Charlie Rose without all the touching.
And fun.
Right.
And fun. And
Less
actually,
grabby and fun.
Touching in a different way. It's
It really
touching
is-
in a different
It really
way.
is a great show.
it's one of
I
my
love
favorite
getting to do
interview
it.
shows we've ever done. So check out that back catalog of that. And oh shit, we got to get back to work.
It's a good show.